Okay, my friends, lesson 109, Course in Miracles, workbook. I love this one. It's so perfect because I'm just finishing yoga practice. Lesson 109 says, I rest in God. We ask for rest today and quietness unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. We have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet and peace and stillness and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself. I rest in God. Completely undismayed, this thought will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem that it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all who join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in Him and let Him speak through you. In Him you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In timelessness you rest, while time goes by without its touch upon you, for your rest can never change in any way at all. You rest today. And as you close your eyes, sink into stillness. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies were but the dreams of fever that has passed away. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace. Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest, and hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking. And the time when rest will be the only thing there is comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too weary now to go their way alone. And they will hear the bird begin to sing and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored to walk with lightened steps along the road that suddenly seems easy as they go. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers from your rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come far across the world and near as well. Your distant brothers and your closest friends, bid them all enter here and rest with you. You rest within the peace of God today, quiet and unafraid. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. We rest together, for thus our rest is made complete. And what we give today, we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. And we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. So, so it's such a beautiful lesson, the imagery of the bird with wings and the dry stream coming back into its flow, the restoration of energy. And excuse me, that word restoration is interesting because it has that core word rest in it. And a lot of times I think that we have misplaced our value on production, on getting things done. And we think that it's it's valuable, obviously, to get things done, but it's the energy with which we're doing them that has and makes all the difference in the world. So if our energy is grounded in that rest, that peacefulness, then you know this, you've heard this 100 times, that people don't remember what you say, they remember how they feel in your presence. And that is what we want to continue to nurture within ourselves, this deep sense of resting in divine love, grounded, anchored in that energy, so that everywhere we go, every word we speak expresses that deep rest and offers then restoration to others. And I love in this lesson how it's speaking to those unborn, those who have passed and those who will come in the future. That this work that we do, if we think of each of our bodies like trees in the forest, we seem to be all individual trees, but under the ground, all of those roots are connected. They go deep, and each one connects to the other throughout the entire forest. That is such a powerful image for us to remember. So we are this tree anchored in, and we are resting in God, in love, in all that is true and eternal. And that is infusing our roots. And that's tapping everybody else's roots with that vibration. So that can help us to really understand that, I think when I was a beginner student in this material, I used to think like, I'm here for the salvation of the world. Like it's all up to me. Um, the language in the course is very direct, and it gives an immense amount of responsibility to each and every one of us to practice and to do this work to retrain our minds to turn away from darkness, away from fear, and into the light. And it is a responsibility to do that. But the benefit of doing that work is the ease and the grace and the stability with which you get to tap each day. You get to feel for longer and longer stretches, and then you get to express and share with others. So I think that when you look at this one, look to see where you value productivity more than rest. A lot of us, I think, need a lot more rest. Can it be just a few minutes every hour of, setting it down, or in between activities, taking a moment, even when you use the restroom, as you wash your hands, just repeating these mantras, these phrases, redirects the mind and continues to create new neural pathways for us to default into faster and easier. And that's what you're probably beginning to see more and more. Even though there continues to be some struggle and sorrow and things like that resurface, the redirect happens quicker. I was reading in the text this morning something about look not to darkness, look away and surrender the darkness to him who knows what to do with it. I'm totally paraphrasing, but I thought that was so just encouraging to be like, yeah, just look away. Part of this is that we just keep looking at it. We keep, nurturing it. It's like we're cooking it again and again and again. Just look away. rest in God and trust that all that, haunts us and stays with us and the regret and all of that, the Course is saying when you rest in God, there is none of that. That is completely gone. So let's really be vigilant today in our practicing this one. Even though it's done with rest, there is a consistency and a desire to really tap that beautiful energy that we get when we practice. Bye for now.